From industry news to mobile technology, leaks, and rumors, we cover tomorrow's tech news today. eSIM Tech News.
Yeah. Woo.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back, eSIMstudios podcast, live stream, YouTube, whatever you want to call it. We are back. We are here live on a, I guess, special day if you're a Samsung fan. Today, Samsung launched the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7, as well as the Z Flip 7 FE. This is the latest iteration in the Samsung foldable lineup. Pretty drastic upgrade when you actually look at the devices and their previous models that they are replacing. So we're going to jump into the different models. We're going to jump into the upgrades that each model received, and if you potentially like them, and if you want to get them, I'll show you the very best way. We'll jump on their website, look at the trade-in offers, trade-in deals, and I'll give you my secret hack that can get you, I think, either $1,000 off or at least $600 off of these devices. So we'll get you the biggest trade-in value for the least amount of money coming out of your pocket. It's something that I use every year, essentially. Now, Samsung released, as I mentioned, the Z Fold 7, probably the biggest, most notable device you're going to see as far as press, right? As far as attention online. And the biggest change from the Fold 7 coming from the Fold 6 is that it's razor thin. So when it's completely closed, I believe it's like 8 millimeters thick. When it's opened, it's just over 4 millimeters thick. A drastic reduction in thickness. And you're also getting a hole punch display, which may be one of the first things that you notice when you look at this device online. The previous generation, the Fold 6, had an under-display selfie camera on the inside display. But it's so thin that they had to do away with the under-display sensor. Now, that's a good thing because under-display sensors, they're about like 98% clear, right? It does, that sensor under the display does have to actually see through the AMOLEDs, the diodes that are in there. So actually a hole punch is better. You get 100% clarity, and it just looks better in my opinion, right? From if you're taking a lot of pictures and photos. Obviously, if you're looking at it, it's nice to see full display, but if you take a lot of pictures, do a lot of video, you're going to want that hole punch. So how's it going, Semper Buffo? Appreciate you joining us today. And we'll get into if I'm going to get one or not. I saw a lot of YouTubers at this event. I saw YouTubers there that had less subscribers than us. And I was wondering, damn, did I miss an email or something? I went through my emails. They never sent me an invite, so it's all good. Maybe in the future we'll get one. And if not, that's fine as well. Now, I don't think I'm going to be getting any of these. I thought long and hard. I originally thought I was going to get at least one out of the two, but I just remembered I'm going to have to buy 3 Pixels next month. 3. One for me. We're a Pixel family here. Now, I love Samsung. I love OnePlus. I love nothing, not the Phone 3. So I usually get the flagship OnePlus. I usually get well, not this year. Nothing. I always have a nothing phone. I always have a flagship Samsung phone. Nobody's sending these phones. Like, I'm buying this out of my own money, right? So going into today's launch, I thought, well, I'm definitely going to be getting one of these. And then I remembered I'm going to have to buy 3 Pixels tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next month, right? We're a Pixel family. We'll always be a Pixel family. That's our go-to phone. That's my go-to phone. That's my number one phone I'm never getting rid of. Never getting rid of my Pixel, ever. I'll take Pixel over Samsung any day. That's just me. I'll take Pixel over OnePlus. It's just my go-to phone. The best camera, the best video of any phone on the market. So I cannot let that go. Now, my wife's going to get a new Pixel next month. I'm going to get a new Pixel next month. My daughter's going to get a new Pixel next month. So we're looking at $3,000 out of the bank account next month. And look, it is what it is. I'm not saying I'm never going to get one, but you never know. But if I come across a good deal in the future, I might. But at the moment, I'm going to have $3,000 coming out of my account next month for Pixels. And look, I'm not getting rich on this YouTube thing. I know the narrative is if you have so many subscribers or if you're a quote-unquote big YouTuber, you make a ton of money. Not the case. So still got to work a day job. This is my hobby, right? Not a full-time YouTuber. Maybe someday we'll get to that point, but right now it's just not the case. So I don't get any of these devices sent to me. All these are out of my pocket. But let's go ahead and jump in. But have no fear. If you want to get one, look, these are phenomenal devices, and I think you won't go wrong. You can't go wrong with either one. There's one huge flaw with the Fold that we'll get into, but I think the Flip looks like almost a complete foldable, a complete flip phone, meaning the upgrades that they did. So let's jump into the Fold, and we'll go ahead and get that going. What's going on, Angel? Let's see. Yo, what's up? I got the Z. Oh, you got the Fold 7? Sweet. Yes, it is very expensive. Trade-in was low and the phone more expensive. That absolutely sucks. And that goes into play with one of my decisions of why I'm not going to get one. I know I've been saying for the last month or two, I'm definitely going to get the Fold 7 or the Flip 7. And as I just explained, I'm going to have to buy 3 Pixels next month. So it's expensive. Now, and stay with us. We'll go through this quick. I don't have all day, as y'all don't either. So I'm going to make this fast. Kind of a lengthy intro, just waiting for people to join us here on the live stream. But I'm going to show you Angel, what phone did you trade in? Because that's the thing. As of maybe 3 years ago, so you would get incredible. And Samsung probably still has the best trade-in deals of anybody in the business, and I'm going to tell you why in just a second. But as of maybe 3 years ago, you used to be able to upgrade. So if you had let's just say this year, the S25 Ultra just came out, let's say maybe 5-6 months ago. Let's say you're getting an S25 Ultra 3 years ago, if that makes sense. Okay, no, let's do this. So let's say you're getting the S22 Ultra, but you had an S21 Ultra, right, that you were going to trade in for the S22 Ultra. S22 Ultra brand new was what, $1,100? Samsung would give you, I remember paying maybe $168 with my trade-in, but I would trade in my S21 Ultra, pay $168 on top of that, and then get a brand new S22 Ultra. See what I'm saying? They used to give you, I think, like $1,000 off of your trade-in. Now they're only giving you, what did they give me for my S24 Ultra? I think it was like $600. So and they're $1,200 now. So you're paying $1,200. You're getting $600 off for your trade-in. So yeah, it does suck. That trade-in value, that little cat kind of got out the bag on that one. The phenomenal trade-in deals. And look, they're still probably better than most, because here's why. On all the other companies' trade-in deals, Samsung gives you that amount off. So if you're trading in a S24 Ultra for your S25 Ultra, Samsung gives you that $600 off right off of the bat, meaning you do not pay that up front. All you got to do is trade in your phone, obviously, within that window. How Google, how Apple, how OnePlus, who else does trade-in deals? of those big ones outside of Samsung, they give you that trade-in value on the back end, meaning you still got to pay for everything up front. You got to pay for that brand new phone up front, meaning you got to pay the full $1,000 up front, and then you trade in your phone, and then they like give you a credit back on if you pay with your credit card or your debit card. Once you send them your trade-in phone, then they'll give you that $600 on the back end. So you're paying $1,000 up front with any other company. With Samsung, at least if you're paying $1,200 for an S25 Ultra and you're trading in your S24 Ultra and they're giving you $600 off, at least up front all you're paying is $600. Now, if you don't send in your phone, your trade-in, that's when they hit your card for whatever card you paid with. That's when they hit you for that extra $600. Angel says, I traded in, oh wow, S25 Ultra. I sold the Z Fold 6 to my brother for $1,000. Damn, that is a good sale right there for you. Yeah, I saw that. S25 Ultra. How much were they giving for the S25 Ultra? I think it was $1,000 off, but the phone is $20, depending on what storage variant you got, $2,400. So you're still having to pay $1,400 up front. You see what I'm saying? I don't think you can trade in. Yeah, you can trade it in. I was on there earlier today and was checking out all the trade-ins. They allow it. Oh well, if you're in Canada, maybe another story. I thought you were speaking about the United States. In Canada, the website does not offer the trade. What? No trade-in. No S25 Ultra trade-in for the new Z Fold 7 in Canada? Interesting. In the USA was an option. Yeah, it sure was. It sure was. So let me share. Let's go through some of these pictures and then we'll go through the specs. Now, if you were wondering, it does have the full 8-core Snapdragon 8 Elite CPU. I did not research that extensively, and we won't fully know until people start getting these devices in and can verify on apps like CPU Z. But from the few publications I did check, it showed full 8 cores. So you're getting the full Snapdragon 8 Elite in there. You're not getting the 7-core that's in the S25 Ultra. There is more room for that heat to dissipate. I mean, it is basically a small tablet when it's fully open, unlike the S25 Edge, where there's just not much not much room for that heat to dissipate, right? So let me get into this real quick. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So the colors, what color did you get? So I pulled this from Jay Will's YouTube channel, right? He got invited to go to the release thing, and he actually got all the colors in, which we will check out. So this is the Z Fold 7 in a silver color. Now it's interesting because it does have a 10:9 aspect ratio on that inside display when it's fully opened. It does look like the crease has decreased, so to speak, but you can still see it. It's still there slightly, but I think it has reduced. Not as much as the Z Flip 7, which we'll get into. But there's the silver color. It really looks like, minus the camera array, it really looks like a smaller S24 Ultra with the kind of sharp corners there. Just a smaller, slimmed down version, because it does have a 6.5-inch display, outer display. And there you get to see just how thin it really is. Nice silver color. That'll probably be the least one chosen as far as colors. If you like it, hey, I like it too. But I'm assuming the blue version, which you see right here, is what most people are going to choose. Although there's one color that I absolutely love, that, let me tell you, if I was going to get either one, whether it's the Fold 7 or the Flip 7, I think I know what color I'm getting. And I'll share that here in just a second. But that blue color looks very, very nice. The black color, almost like that Phantom Black on the S25 Ultra. Now, there's that color I would be getting, the mint color. So that's the only Samsung exclusive color they're offering at the moment for these two devices, is the mint green color. I had the mint green S24 Ultra. Really like that. A different color, different shade, but it looks very, very nice on these devices. It looks even better in person. So you get the mint green Samsung exclusive. That's the only Samsung exclusive color that they're offering this year, but it looks absolutely freaking badass on either one, the flip or the fold. Now, this is the Flip 7 when it's opened. They changed the aspect ratio. It's a 21:9 aspect ratio. Same aspect ratio as what you're going to find on the S25 Plus, right? S25 Plus, 21:9. Now, the old, I shouldn't say the old, but, well, yeah, I guess it's the old aspect ratio of the Flip 6. Of the Flip 6 is a 19:5, so it's a lot taller. They drastically changed the aspect ratio. It feels like a regular phone in your hand now, because in the past you would know you were using a flip because how tall and skinny it was. And this one, they added a little more beef. They made it wider, but one key thing that they did to it is not just to the Fold 7 making it slimmer, they made the Flip 7 thinner as well. And here you get the dark navy blue in the new Flip 7. Here is the bright red. I think they call it coral red in the Flip 7. Very nice looking color. And you can tell the thickness. The Flip 7's on the left. The Fold 7's on the right. There's the thickness as well. Another shot thickness. And then there you get the colors. You get the coral red. You get the navy blue in the Flip 7, and then you get the black, the jet black in the Flip 7. And here's one thing that they did that I absolutely love, and there is the mint green as well. Very nice. There's the black looking one. One thing that they did do that I really, really like, were y'all able to see that, or was I tripping? I don't think y'all saw that. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, that was a fail on my part. We'll check out the colors. Let me do this. Let's check out the colors. I'm not going to waste any more of y'all's time, and I'll edit that out once this is done. Let's go ahead and go to the website so we can check the colors out there. The mint is my favorite one. Here's one thing Samsung did that I absolutely love, and I wish more companies would do, and I wish Google will do with their upcoming Pixel 10 series, is make the side of the phone, meaning the side rails, what you're seeing with this Fold 7 right here, make the side of the phone the same color as the back of the phone. I know that seems like too much to ask for, geez Louise. It makes the phone look more sleeker. It makes the phone look more sexier. It makes the phone have more of a personality and attitude. I can't stand these phones that have a decent color on the back, but have a cheap chrome or just a shiny silver border. I want the color of the phone to be one color all the way around, minus the display. And Samsung, thank God, finally did it. So, doesn't it look nicer with this flip right here? I mean, because in the past the flips had a silver border, right? The S24 series had a different border around the edges, and they still kind of do right now. They still don't necessarily match them, but this is the first device I can tell that they really put that same color, wrapped it all around the phone. So let's look at this. Let's look at here. So this is the Flip 7. Let's go to the Fold 7 since that's the most probably sought after device. Now, they're giving you a storage upgrade. Base model is 256 gigs, which seems kind of silly, right? On such a nice device, right? But it is available. That's why when you do order phones, you don't have to do it, but I strongly encourage you to buy new phones on launch because there's so many good deals. doubling the storage, Samsung introduced that. It seems like a staple now. All manufacturers. Actually, does Apple do that? I don't think Apple does that. Google, Samsung, OnePlus, even Nothing did it this year, where they'll double your storage on pre-order. So you basically get a 512 gigs storage for $19.99. Same price as a 256. Now, look at this. If you want to jump up to the 1 terabyte model, remember that 1 terabyte model, Fold 7, has 16 gigs of RAM. The 256, the 512, has 12 gigs of RAM. Not a huge deal, but if you're a heavy multitasker, I strongly suggest you get the 1 terabyte, even though it is so expensive. But let me just check the 512, right? So here, that's probably the one most people are going to buy. You get the mint green is the only Samsung exclusive. Man, it looks better, way better in person. And you get the jet black, you get the navy blue or blue shadow, and then you get that silver color. Now, trade-ins. Let's see what they're giving. And remember, this is in the United States, so you can trade a Fold 6 and S25 Ultra for up to $1,000 off, and then it just goes down from there depending on how old your device is. Now, S25 Plus, I know, is just released. They're giving you $700 back, but they give you a little more. If you're buying a new foldable, they give you more for an older foldable, because look, you're getting a Flip 6, $700, Fold 4, $800, Fold 5, $900. So go down from there, right? Samsung Care, I strongly suggest, encourage, promote Samsung Care and or insurance with these foldables. I normally don't get insurance on my devices. If you get a foldable, it is almost a must. And I'm not talking about the regular Samsung Plus. Samsung Care Plus. Look, you can if you want, but definitely, because what I prefer is the Samsung Care with theft and loss. It's a little more, so I guess technically you're fine if you just want to choose the Samsung Care Plus, but just get some insurance, please. These things, they cover it. I've had to send 1 or 2 in, and it's no questions asked. These foldables are very, very delicate. What do they call it? Those black spots on those AMOLED displays. Remember, these displays on the inside are not glass. Now, I think technically they're foldable glass, but let's face it, it's basically like plastic, right? It feels like plastic. Very, very fragile. If the device is open and you drop a coin, I've seen that before, a set of keys. I dropped another phone on top of it when it's open. Boom, black dot. So these things are very, very delicate. You almost have to get Samsung Care, and they'll get you a new one, no questions asked, if that does happen, which is why I dropped a Flip. What was it? A Flip 5 from 3 feet on a hardwood floor. Boom, busted the display from 3 feet. Right? It wasn't even concrete. So I was like, what the hell is going on? So I had insurance. But anyways, now another interesting aspect of this pre-order, you can pick this up at a Best Buy. The last few launches of Samsung flagship devices, including the S25 series, even including last year's Flip 6 and Fold 6, in-store pickup was not available. Now it is available, and you can pick it up at your nearest Best Buy. So just keep that in mind. They'll deliver it to you, or you can select a Best Buy closest to you for in-store pickup. You get the phone, the charger, and the SIM tray ejector. Yay. Now, here are the new watches. You do get 10% off. Classic, Ultra. Ultras aren't that expensive this year. It says $649, or is that the old? Ultra? New Galaxy Watch 8 314. That looks nice. Did I tell y'all I lost my watch? I don't know where it went. Galaxy Buds. They give you a certain percentage off. Now, check these out if a Flip in it interests you. They're giving you an upgrade again, storage upgrade to 512. $10.99. It was $9.99. They are raising prices, unfortunately. That's why I always suggest you upgrade at launch. So you get your mint green online exclusive, jet black, blue shadow, coral red, which I absolutely love. It'd be a hard choice. That all black looks badass too because it's a shiny black. It's a hard choice for me personally between the blue, the coral red, and the mint. Just really, really look good this year. So let's look at my trade-in hack real quick. Now, we'll get into the FE here. I don't think they're going to sell many of those, but if you're interested, we'll check it out. So if you have last year's Flip 6, who would be trading a Fold 6 for a Flip 6, Flip 7? I have no idea, but that is available. Most people, I think, are going to trade in a S25, or excuse me, S24, probably a Flip 4. So just remember this real quick. Galaxy Z Flip 6, $600. I'm going to show you my trade-in hack. Now, again, Samsung Care, it's $10 a month. With the Fold 7 was $13 a month, and the price is different simply because the Fold 7 is more expensive, right? Now, you can walk out the door. Let's say you have a Flip 6. You're going to trade in last year's Flip 6, right? You would be paying with no extras, no watch, no buds, nothing. You'd be making a one-time payment of essentially $500. Now, that does not include taxes. So if you include taxes, that's basically, hang on one second. Let's see. Taxes, $499. Now I'm in Texas. $499 times 1.0825 equals $540.16. $540, and that's what they trade in with the previous year's flagship. $540. Is it worth it? Maybe, maybe not. It all depends on if that's what you want to do. Now, let's go to this fold. I did not do it on this fold. Let's select 512. And let's do a trade-in as well. Samsung Fold 6, you're getting $1,000 off. Yes, I agree. And with no extras, no insurance, no watch, no buds. Jesus Christ, you're going to be paying $1,000 now. With taxes, that would be $999 times 1.0825% is $1,081. And also trading in your Fold 6, your last year's flagship. So $500 doesn't look so bad, but when it's compared to $1,000 plus your last year's phone. So now let's jump into this before I get into my trade-in hack, and we will check out the specs and or a spec missing, because we did get something confirmed today that I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off about. So they are selling this FE, Flip 7 FE, in black or white, kind of boring. And they are offering a 128 gig storage variant. The 256 is $959, but if you upgrade now, you get a storage upgrade. $899, this is basically $900, and this is last year's Flip 6, rebranded and a new CPU. So last year's Flip 6 had the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. This year, it has the Samsung Exynos 2400, and the Flip 7, the non-FE, the regular Flip 7, has Samsung's newest flagship CPU, the Exynos 2500. But the FE has same sensors, same display, basically same everything. So let's see. Let's choose the white version. Unlocked, yes, 256. Color, let's go with white. Trade-in, eligible. Let's see what these trade-in deals are. Flip 6, $500. So let's say you're trading in why would you trade in last year's Flip 6 for this year's Flip 7 FE? It's the same phone. I don't know. I'm just doing this for example. What other devices, what other phones would people be trading in? Probably a Flip 5, right? Because why would you go from a Flip 6 to a Flip 7 FE. It's literally, well, not literally, but essentially it's the same phone. I mean, it has a newer CPU, but I think the 8 Gen 3 is still better than the Exynos 2400. Plus, you know what? The Flip 6 has 12 gigs of RAM. So the Flip 7 FE only has 8 gigs of RAM. So technically you would be downgrading, honestly, if you were trading in a Flip 6 for a Flip 7 FE. So that doesn't make any sense. Let's say you're trading in last year's flagship, the Flip 5. All right. That is the 8 Gen 2. And that has 8 gigs of RAM as well. So you'd be paying no insurance, no extras, no watch, no earbuds, $500. I don't think that's worth it, but that's just me. Okay, so here are two specs before we get into the trade-in hack, and then we'll get out of here. So the two specs, the two huge specs that I really thought that I really thought stood out to me on these two devices. There was one spec that stood out on the Fold 7, and I think you know what that is. And there's one spec that stood out on the Flip 7 that you might not be able to guess. Now, what spec stood out on the Fold 7 to me? Well, we talked about it yesterday. It's the lack of S Pen support. So this is a major hurdle. Samsung did not talk about this. I told you all I was not going to be able to wake up this morning. That's why I blew through my scheduled live stream, but I'm here now. So I rewatched the launch event. They said nothing in regards to not supporting an S Pen, and they don't want you to know that. Shh, be quiet. Don't tell anybody. Well, guess what? I'm telling y'all. I'm telling everybody. No S Pen support. A huge hit, punch to the gut, right? Especially for people like me, and I'm sure people like you, because it is a tablet. It's a phone when it's closed. Jesus Christ. This whole live stream has been a disaster. Anyways. Well, that sucks. I will make a separate video because I have to go now. But I was crunched on time and now I just screwed myself with the muted mic. But I'm going to make a video describing how to do the trade-in. I do apologize about that. For 20 minutes? Oh my God. All right. I'm going to redo this whole stream. Not now, tomorrow. This is this is a complete disaster. That's not good. So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to do a new one tomorrow. And I'll sprinkle in some other stuff as well. But I'm going to go over my trade-in hack tomorrow. Can't believe I was muted this whole time. That sucks. That's kind of how the day's gone today. Just shit's not been going good. But one of those days, man. I tell you, one of those days. We'll do it all over again tomorrow, and I'm not going to spend as much time on these. I'll go over my trade-in hack again, and then I'll go over a couple of points on the Flip 7 and the Fold 7. I'll basically condense everything that y'all did not hear. Those last 20 minutes I'll condense into like 5 minutes. So let me get out of here. I apologize. This has been a disaster, but we'll be back at it tomorrow. And I'll be on top of my game tomorrow. So appreciate the time. Please take care. And I'll have a mulligan on this one. And we'll join me tomorrow. How about this? Join me tomorrow. We'll do a giveaway. How about that? I'll do a case giveaway tomorrow. Make up for the shitty live stream today. Nothing better than getting free stuff. So come back tomorrow. I promise you we'll do a giveaway tomorrow. And it'll be much better. Peace.